Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück hier auf meinem Kanal zu einer neuen Folge Vampire. So, wir sind jetzt bei den Docks. Da haben wir ja schon mit ein paar Leuten gesprochen. Gehen wir direkt wieder raus. Genau, mit ihr wollte ich noch sprechen.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As
Also
I just
gerade
told you, I'm a
gesagt.
doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I don't have any money for you bitches.
I'm not here for charity, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Die ist auch noch gesund, okay.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt, or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
Huh?
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Zurück. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Ghoulgräber.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
Are you aware of what happened to him?
Yes. I'm sure he fought till the end and looked death in the eyes. The boys will mourn him. Except one of them, maybe.
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
Sie verbergen ein weiches Herz. Ich bin nicht gleich zu schockieren. Ich glaube, sie haben ihn manipuliert. Ja.
I believe you manipulated Booth Digby to get everything you wanted from him. Both inside and outside the bedroom.
The poor bastard is good to me, if you must know. He makes me feel good. And that's a first.
So you're just like any other couple, after all, are you not?
Yeah, we're so ordinary that I'd put a bullet in his head if he ever cheated on me.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that.
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
What happened exactly?
I don't know, and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
Can I see what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Mhm. Ja, ich habe nicht viel Geld. Aber das kann ich verhökern. Jetzt habe ich wieder Geld. So, dann gucken wir uns mal weiter um.
Wet boots keeping things straight. These parts will be running completely amok.
So, wir sind jetzt dort. Okay. Gucken wir uns mal weiter um. Ob es hier noch mehr Leute gibt. Ah ja, das jetzt weiß ich, wo wir hier sind. Jetzt sind wir auf jeden Fall.
Are they stupid or something?
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem.
Good evening, Tom.
Good
Sind
evening,
wir wieder in
sir.
der
How are you
Gastwirtschaft.
tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
So, dem geht's auch gut.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Neue Untersuchung, der Engpass.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
How is it you can keep... Goodbye, Mr. Watts. Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Ja, aber das muss man ja irgendwie bezahlen, du Knaller.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly, so joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
No reason at all to rejoice, then?
Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop, the torn street light.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. And now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly.
No.
Let
Another. Is there anything... Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change, and to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor. Make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Are they stupid or something? I've never even been to India.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Ich finde das so geil, wie das hier geschrieben ist zum Teil. Also die Storys sind zum Teil, also die Sachen, die die Leute hier zum Teil erzählen, sind richtig
He didn't
genial.
deserve this.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
What can you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
If you're uncertain about your safety here, the docks might not be the right place for you.
I got responsibilities. And it's not like I got the money to move anywhere else anyway.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colorful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the color of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
So, mal gucken, ob wir noch einen haben, der hier rumspringt.
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
I hope I live long enough to see them.
Bling, 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 ching, 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 ching. Alles meins. Haben wir hier noch jemanden?
Perhaps I should shut the turquoise for a time.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I
Das
can.
sind nur die drei Leute, die hier rumstromern. Aber hier gibt es mit Sicherheit noch mehr an den Docks. Immerhin ist der Status an den Docks schon mal stabil, aber hier fehlen immer noch einige NPCs. Die Umgebung ist nicht gerade groß. Man kann auch nur die Hauptquest sehen, aber nicht die Nebenaufgaben, die ich jetzt noch freigeschaltet habe. Das ist halt doof irgendwie. Wir haben da oben auf jeden Fall noch ein Ausrufungszeichen. Ansonsten muss ich mich selber umgucken im Spiel, dass ich was finde. Hat aber auch was.
Hypocrites, all of them. Maggots and
Ah,
liars.
der ist neu.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Why must it always be a good evening?
I was just being polite. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you some questions, if I may.
Don't like questions or doctors. And the name is Seymour Fishburne, if you must know.
Do you require medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again. A doctor concerned with the health of his patients. Yeah. I could use some help. On several matters, in fact.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
A shithole filled with maggots. Liars and thieves, all of them.
Are you thinking about someone in particular?
Nope. Hate them all. Especially these petty, whining little shitbag beggars.
Is there no one who deserves your leniency then?
Well, Tom from our local is somewhat of a decent bloke. At least, unlike most maggots, he knows how to listen without opening his trap.
What's your occupation?
I take care of my mum. It's what I do. She's the only good thing in my life. Even though I don't treat her so good.
You seem upset. Is something bothering you?
I lost the necklace I bought her. I'm a fucking idiot. A worthless idiot.
Sometimes it's hard to be a good son.
I just want her to smile. No, I was thankful for her patience, appreciated like... God knows she deserves it.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Okay, Mr. Fishburne kümmert sich um seine Mutter. Die muss ja dann hier eigentlich auch irgendwo sein. Was ich nur immer nicht so ganz nachvollziehen kann, warum springen die alle hier draußen rum und das des Nachts. Das kriege ich zum Teil nicht so ganz gebacken. In meinem Logikverständnis. Gut, manche sind auch in Häusern, aber das waren bis jetzt nur zwei. Einmal dieser eine Junge.
Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
The disease takes away the good people too, madam. Why not let me in?
It's Mrs. Fishburne. Stella Fishburne. And yes, indeed. Why not let a doctor in?
Wunderbar.
I can't remember the last time I had a good sleep. I've been nothing but worry.
It's locked, all right.
Man könnte meinen, man könnte definitiv meinen, das wären hier alles Privatpatienten, ne? So wie wir uns als Doktor verhalten. Und ein Doktor würde nie zu einem Kassenpatienten einfach so kommen. Aber definitiv zu einem zu einem Privatpatienten.
Best grow eyes in the back of that head, sir. Gentlemen are easy targets in these parts.
It's locked.
So, das war abgeschlossen.
So you have questions about the flu, then?
Yes, among other things.
Forgive my rudeness at the door. It's just my son doesn't like strangers coming in the house.
How is life around here?
Life has always been hard in the East End. But it's everywhere nowadays, isn't it?
Do you think the increase in violence has anything to do with the epidemic?
Don't know. But it's most likely linked to the gangs, if you ask me. Recently, it's like everyone has had to pick a side.
Violence has always fed on poverty, don't you think? It's a cruel law of the human condition.
And selfishness is their rotten fruit. These days, you can just die in the gutter, and no one will bat an eye.
May I ask what you do for a living, Mrs. Fishburne?
Since my husband died, I worked at the Dawson Rope factory. but it closed before the war. I occasionally help at the night asylum, in exchange for food.
Did your husband die in the war?
Oh no, my Jack was a docker. He died when my Seymour was just a lad. The poor boy saw his dad slip and fall from that scaffolding.
How do you pay the rent, then?
My Seymour works at the docks, just like his dad. He's very attached to the house he grew up in. It's not always easy, but we get by all right.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
I can't remember the last time I had a good sleep. I've been nothing but worry.
Naja, aber sie scheint auf jeden Fall gesund zu sein, genauso wie der Junior.
Hello, boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
This city has abandoned so many of its children. It's tragic.
I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Some call this the bad part hotel.
Schon tragische Geschichten zum
Evening,
Teil, ne?
Evening.
Schon echt tragische Geschichten zum Teil hier.
So long, Rufus.
Der arme Junge.
There's got folk gossiping and scared. It's people they should fear. Flesh and blood.
Gehen wir nochmal zu der Frau und fragen die nochmal.
Good evening, Mrs. Fishburne. May I come in, please?
Of course. Dr. Reed.
So, dem Jungen haben wir auf jeden Fall schon mal geholfen.
What can I do for you, Dr. Reed?
The orphan that regards you as a mother. Please tell me about him, Stella.
You mean Rufus? I wish I could do even more for the poor boy. Most people are so selfish.
But you're not.
Years may have passed, but I haven't forgotten how it feels to go through days with nothing but an empty stomach.
Goodbye, Miss Fishburne. Take care of yourself.
Please don't stay too long, sir.
So, es sind nicht mehr ganz so viele übrig. Enid Gilham muss ich auf jeden Fall finden. Und den NPC, der da in der Nähe ist. Also ein paar sind noch übrig, aber nicht mehr so viele. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich wegschaue, wenn sie mich wegen meiner Hautfarbe verspotten. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich wie ein Mädchen weine, wenn sie mich beleidigen. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich wie ein Junge fluche, wenn sie fort sind. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich meine Eltern hasse. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich lächle, wenn Kunden mich traurige Biene nennen. Ich hasse mich dafür, dass ich nie den Mut finde, Tom meine wahren Gefühle zu gestehen. Sabrina. Wer ist Sabrina noch gleich? Das ist die Sabrina, das ist die Dame. Das ist die Dame in der Kneipe. Die Docks sind auch schon cool als Gebiet.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to cause a problem as to solve
You still
one.
working at this hour? That's what I call dedication.
Sabrina, tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Lass wir auch reden.
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
Wieder ein paar neue Informationen herausgefunden. Aber ich muss mich noch weiter umgucken. Hier gibt es noch mehr Leute, mit denen ich mich unterhalten kann. Fragt sich halt nur wo. Das ist halt die Frage.
It's locked, all right.
Das ist der Junge, ne? Ja. That's the boy. Rufus Kingsburys Hütte. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass der eine eigene Hütte hat, der Rufus. Aber warum ist er draußen mitten in der Nacht und nicht
I
drin?
cannot enter.
Das check ich halt nicht so ganz. Das ist der Typ. Blutspuren. Gehen wir mal hier unten und gucken, was hier abgeht.
This is a slaughterhouse. It's locked, all right.
Blutige Halskette. Von Seymour für meine geliebte Mutter Stella. Okay.
From Seymour to my beloved mother Stella. Fishburne, that sneaky bastard.
Krass. Was man so alles an Geheimnissen ergründen kann in dem Spiel. Da müssen wir uns doch mal mit dem Junior Fishburne unterhalten.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
I have retrieved the gift for your mother, sir.
Great. Give it here then and take this for your trouble.
I also found the corpses. The ones under which you left the necklace, Mr. Fishburne.
Ah, so that's where I left it. I can be a bit stupid sometimes.
As a man of science, I'd like to try to understand why you killed those people.
Why does there need to be a reason? They were just there. It happened. That's all.
You're not a mindless animal, Seymour. Surely you have something to say about these murders. Speak up and I will listen without judgment.
Could be right, Dr. Reed. Maybe it'll do some good to confide in a gentleman like you. You being educated and all.
Did you take pleasure in killing them, Seymour? All those people, all those lives extinguished.
I take no pleasure from it. Just gives me peace. Stills the anger. For a time.
This rage you feel, have you ever been able to control it? Resist it?
I tried. For my mum, I tried for her. Telling the truth made me feel better. For a while.
Don't you think you should seek help? Talk to someone you trust, someone who cares about you.
No. And don't dare speak about me to your colleagues either. Keep your mouth shut tight. Especially about my mum.
Why is your mother protecting you, Seymour?
I'm her son. She's the only one who knows me. Sometimes I think she knows me better than I know myself.
I understand you love her, but can't you see the awful situation you've put her in?
Do you think my mum would have a better life if I were dead? She seems so sad to know me sometimes.
Tod ist keine angemessene Strafe.
I don't believe death is the appropriate sentence for murder.
Not in a civilized society. But the last word has to remain with the law.
There is no law around here. No justice to be found. In these parts, revenge is the only answer.
Mist.
Tell me about your victims, Seymour. Who were they? Why them? Was there a link?
Why should there be? They just kept getting on my nerves at the worst times, that's all.
How many? How many victims?
It's not like I keep records. It happens when it happens.
You feel nothing, do you? No empathy for your victims at all?
You seem pretty calm yourself, don't you?
We're not talking about me.
All right. Well, our calm's the only thing we have in common then.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Na klasse. Jetzt haben wir es hier auch noch mit dem Mörder zu tun. Mr. Fishburne. Weiß Bescheid.
I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable.
Ah, Sauswag bin ich jetzt. Ob es hier noch Leute gibt, die sich vielleicht aus welchen Gründen auch immer hier verschanzt haben. Wäre ja möglich.
Better go home, sir. Lead shot! Watch out, boys! I'll kill it! Watch it! It's a killer!
Widerstände.
Filthy!
Neuen Unterschlupf freigeschaltet, okay. Das ist löblich. Muss auch mal einen neuen Unterschlupf freischalten, so zwischendurch. Ist das nicht zufällig der erste Unterschlupf, in den ich rein bin? Hatten wir nicht hier in diesem Gebiet angefangen? Doch, ne? Ich glaube schon. Aber ich weiß es nicht genau. Doch, doch, die haben wir angefangen. Da hat sich auf dem Bett, da hat sich auf dem Bett die Kugel gegeben. Dr. Reed. Aber ich glaube, viel gibt es hier nicht zu sehen. Zu looten. Blumenstrauß eingesammelt. Aber was es zu holen gibt, das holen wir uns jetzt einfach noch. Muss ja auch mal ein bisschen hier die Gebiete erkunden. Abseits von der Visite.
Over there! There's one of them! Ah! It's one of them! Steady, boys! I've got one of them! I'll kill him!
Gießereischlüssel habe ich freigeschaltet. Also kann ich hier irgendwo was aufschließen in der Gießerei. Eine Truhe, eine Tür, irgendwas. Das ist hier nicht der Teil, wo wir angefangen haben. Wo wir als erstes durchrennen mussten. Es wirkt jedenfalls so. So, jetzt sind wir wieder in der Gießerei. Ist auf jeden Fall eine Menge zu holen. wenn es hier nichts gibt, dann weiß ich es auch nicht. Tür wurde aufgeschlossen. Mega. Katsching, katsching, katsching. Sehr gut. Die Wache verhöhnen. Vor mehr als einem Jahrhundert hat sich die Wache von Preven als Gruppe von der Bruderschaft St. Paulus Stola abgespalten. Da die Meinungsverschiedenheiten zwischen unseren beiden Bruderschaften inzwischen tief verwurzelt sind, ist es wichtig, sich daran zu erinnern, was passiert ist und warum wir unsere Brüder von einst nun leider als Gegner und Widersacher haben und warum ihre Regeln ein Witz sind. Kendall Stone gründete 1801 die Wache von Priven. Er war ein ehemaliger Legat der Bruderschaft und lange Zeit Mitglied des Rates der Bruderschaft. Seine Abkehr war das Ergebnis eines nicht beizulegenden Streits innerhalb des Rats. Kendall sagte, die Bruderschaft müsse ihren gewaltlosen Ansatz beim Studium der Vampyre überdenken und die Ausrottung der Unsterblichen solle das ultimative Ziel all ihrer Nachforschungen sein. Seit diesem schrecklichen Bruch waren die Beziehungen zwischen der Bruderschaft und der Wache von Priven immer zu schwierig. Die Wache sieht die Bruderschaft als Verräter, die sich mit ihren Feinden verbünden, während wir sie Diebe und Eiferer nennen, da sie so viele uralte, kostbare Bücher zerstört und gestohlen haben, als sie gingen. Ich verweise Vorwürfe der Feigheit entschieden zurück, weil ich weiß, welchen Mut es unseren Brüdern abnötigt, sich feindseligen Unsterblichen zu nähern und sie zu beobachten. Ich werde niemals den fürchterlichen Verlust der Brüder und Schriften vergessen, die Kendall und seine Anhänger bei ihrer Abkehr verbrannten. Und ich werde nie aufhören, über ihre Dummheit zu lachen, die sich in ihrem Namen offenbart. In Anspielung auf den Schild von König Artus bezeichnen sie sich als wahre von Priven und somit als wahre Verteidiger dieses Landes. Jedem echten Gelehrten ist allerdings völlig bewusst, dass im Buch Talisins Pride nur der Name von Artus Schiff ist, mit dem er in die mythischen Gefilde von Anven segelt. In der Tat, was für ein Symbol. Mhm. Da haben wir noch einiges gefunden hier drin. Hat sich gelohnt, der Ausflug hierher. Auch wieder über 2000 Punkte gekriegt. Erfahrungspunkte. Nochmal hier lang. Ob es hier noch irgendwas Spannendes zu entdecken gibt. mich auch mal interessieren, ob es hier noch irgendwas gibt, aber das ist der Weg, von dem ich vorhin gekommen bin, ne? Müssen wir mal weiter nach links. Das Anfangsgebiet halt. Da komme ich nicht weiter. Ist schon cool mit der Gießerei, dass man hier nochmal hier kann. Dort hat alles angefangen. In der Gießerei. War das nicht hier hinten? Ich wollte noch mal gucken. Ob man vielleicht sogar den Leichenhaufen noch mal sieht, wo man angefangen hat. Ich glaube eher nicht. Ob es noch irgendwas hier zum Entdecken gibt.
This place. Rain may have washed away the blood, but not the memory.
Ja, dann hat es hier angefangen.
My poor Mary.
Ja, hier hat es angefangen. So, Drohung. Hallo Jungs. Zu eurer letzten Nachricht zum Auftrag, die Toten ins Hauswrack zu plündern. Sagt's nur einmal, tut es einfach. Seid froh, dass ich eure Beschwerde nicht Edwina zeige. Sie würde euch die Eier abschneiden. Ein kleines Vögelchen hat mir außerdem gezwitschert, dass ihr Witze über das macht, was ich am Pier gesehen habe. Also bin ich nur ein Spinner, der Angst vor seinem eigenen Schatten hat, oder ein Beknackter, der wie ein altes Weib Gespenstergeschichten brabbelt. Gut, ich mag es, wenn meine Jungs Spaß haben. Der Beknackte wird auf eure beschissene Kadaver pissen, nachdem diese scheiß Monster, das ich gesehen habe, eure Spatzenhirne gefressen hat. Genießt die kommenden Nächte, Kollegen. Ich habe gehört, es soll regnerisch und neblig werden. Who's Digby? Aber es ist wichtig, dass wir hier nochmal anfangen können. Beziehungsweise mal an den Anfang können und dann hier auch nochmal alles looten können. Das ist gut. War eine gute Entscheidung, hierher zu gehen. Aber jetzt machen wir erstmal einen Break, weil wir haben gleich eine Stunde voll. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Wenn ja, lasst mir gerne ein Like und ein Abo da. Bis zum nächsten Mal dann. See ya!